and healthy new year, and to keeping fit, mobile and healthy. So important. So just start by lifting and rolling the shoulders. This opens the energy gate pathways up to the head. Breathing in, turn the head to the left. Turn the head to the right. As you breathe out. Carry on. And then come back to the centre. Lift and roll one shoulder. Lift and roll the other shoulder. Lift and roll both shoulders. And then breathing in, raise the right arm. Stretch it up and breathe out as you go to the left. If you're on a chair or holding on, hold on to something to support you. Breathing in, come back to the centre, and breathing out, lower the right arm. Lift and roll right shoulder. Breathing in, raise the left arm, stretch it up. Breathing out, go to the right, chin into chest. Breathing in, come back to the centre as you stretch up. And breathing out, lower the left arm. Lift and roll the shoulders. Just touch the fingertips to the collarbone and breathing in, arms out. Breathing out, arms back. A few times to your own breath pattern. And then keeping your fingers at the collarbones, just start to circle the elbows forward. And then circle the elbows backwards. If your elbows touch, wonderful, but that's quite a big ask, quite a lot. So wherever works for you. And then just release the hands. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then very gently raise the arms up, clasp and reverse. So rotation, turn to your right and maybe bounce in and out. Come to the centre, stretch up and breathing out, turn to the left. Come to the centre, stretch up and then breathing out, lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then this just stand, sit, it's only a couple of seconds, and bend the knees because it will engage the abdominal muscles post-Christmas. And then breathing in, come back to the centre, hands on the waist, and again just sit this out. We're going to raise our heels for balance. And then lower the heels. And then keeping the hands on the waist, breathing out, turn the entire body to the right. Take an in and an out breath. Come back to the centre and breathing out, turn the entire body to the left. Come to the centre. And then lower the arms. And then we're going to just step forward with the left foot, just stay where you are. and then join in. Make a light fist with your right hand. When you've had a trauma or an accident, it wobbles the whole system. The body goes into a slight shock. And shock always kind of implicates into the digestive system. Chinese believe very much part of our overall immune system. And the digestive system affects the eyes. So when people have had a traumatic experience, often their eyesight takes a dive because the two chakra points, which are the element of fire, are linked. So this is an eye exercise, shoulder and neck. So breathing in, circle your arm. If you've got a stiff shoulder, bend the elbow. Your eye is following your thumb. Becomes a mindfulness exercise too, because the eyes up disconnects the eyes from the stress centers of the brain. And then just very gently reverse the circle. You can bend your elbow. And then just lift and roll that right shoulder and step the left foot back when you're ready. Just sway your arms from side to side. This is moving all energies, all 5 of them, in the body. It's getting the circulation moving, which is what you want for any healing. And then come to the centre and step forward your right foot, otherwise just stay where you are. Make a light fist with your left hand and then just circle the left arm. So you'll notice when you stretch up, even if you're seated or perched, it's stretching through the whole body. And then when you're ready, reverse your circle. It's a stretch for the lungs and helpful for the cardio function as well on a very light level. And then just lift and roll the shoulder, step back with your right foot, and then just bring the hands, fingertips together and just look at the fingertips. Hakini Mudra for focus and concentration. The theory behind this is that the energy levels that escape from the fingertips actually go back into the body because you've got an aura of energy around rather than dissipate to the ether, so it enhances focus. That's the theory anyway. And then just release. And then breathing in, hands out, hands back, palms down, out, back, and back. Hands forward, back. Palms down, and then down. And then, if you've got a chair handy, sit on your chair or remain perched, whichever works for you. So, oh, is it cold?
It's
We've got a slight.
I was more polite than you. I just went,
do took me by surprise. It's the metal on there, isn't it?
blankets are required.
Thank you. Sorry, being a bit wussy here, Jost.
Oh, lovely, that's better.
Oh, thank you. So
I never thought about
you
that.
might need one.
Yes, I'm going to have the opposite of a hot lot. Yeah, okay. Right, so just however it works for you, we're going to have our feet out. It can be, your foot can be resting on the floor or it can be off, so depending on where you want to go. Starting with the right foot, toes up to within your capacity and toes down and away. I don't know if you can see me. So this is beginning to activate circulation in your feet. Just remind me, which leg is it that you've, which leg is it?
Oh, sorry, hang on mute. Left, Chrissy.
Left, good. So we're starting with the best side. You always start with the good side and then go to the other side so you can be more careful, you know what to expect. So this is beginning to boost the circulation in the leg. And then start to circle the ankle. Again, you can keep your foot down if that works for you, or have your foot off, or you can rest your foot on a support. Circling the ankle one way. And then circle the ankle the other way. And then invert, so the foot moves from side to side, freeing off the ankle. Don't think Teddy training's going too well. There's a puppy next door and it's being trained, but it's obviously running circles around its owner here. You can't hear anything. And then just release the foot. Take your hands, so this is for the knee. Just slide your hands or clasp your hands underneath the upper right thigh. Lift the leg off, and again, hopefully you can see, you're just beginning to move the leg to within your capacity. So for you it might be 1 millimetre, and you're going to have to try this. If this works for you, I think it does, then great, you can increase the swing. If you're interested, this starts to move the synovial fluid in the joint, so it's really important for healing all around the knee, but only if it's not hurting. And only you will be able to gauge that, but it should be fine. And then just place the foot down and take your hands and just, within your capacity, just massage around the knee. The whole knee is a marble joint. So there are lots of acupressure points, and tapping or rubbing on them, they'll be the dents all around here, and behind the knee. It activates circulation in the body. I'll get Sue to think of the point on the feet, or on the hand for the knee, not immediately, but just when we get to it. And then just release. And for the hip, so the knee, you're going to be looking at the joint below, which is the ankle, and the joint above, which is the hip. And having been immobile for a few weeks, you inevitably, unfortunately, are going to stiffen up on the hip slightly. So according to, we do this lying down, but according to how you can hold your leg and just gently circle your knee, keeping it totally static and out and holding it, so that you're moving the top of the leg and the hip socket. And then you're just basically circling the other way. And then just release that leg down. So just hands on the knees as we sit up, breathing out chin to chest. We're doing seated cat-cow before we come to the left side. then come to stillness and bring your attention to your left side. So very cautiously, either with your foot off the floor or still resting on the floor, toes up and toes down. So each movement, check in with yourself, is this okay? No aching is fine, but no sharpness, no sharp pain. You're bound to ache a little bit because you've not really moved properly. So this again is activating the circulation. And why it's significant to your knee is that it's boosting oxygen into your bloodstream, which is boosting healing. Blood flow heals. And then when you're ready, start to circle the ankle in one direction. Just out of interest, checking in with you, is that okay to do that, Joss? Is that okay? Okay.
Sorry, yes, it is. Anything with the foot moving is fine.
Okay.
No worries.
I just wanted to check, I'm interested. That yeah, it should be all right.
Yeah,
But just,
that's fine. It's really just around the knee. It's tender area now.
okay. So you're on the mend, and then circle the ankle in the opposite direction. And then when you're ready, the invert, evert. So big foot in and out. Big foot, big toes and foot goes in and out.
So you haven't done it for a while.
The big, not the big, but hormonal brain. Did you see that Megan
Oh,
apparently
God.
feels Caton?
I think I would have poked her eyes out.
What,
That's-
Megan?
Yes, so patronising.
It's not what's in, it's the intention behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a real put down, isn't it? So, put down covered in sugar.
Yes. And then, sort of we're expert at that. Hands under the leg, under the thigh, and just very gently. So how's that, Joss? Just to gently move that's good, good. This is invaluable for you. Really good to get the synovial fluid moving. So if anyone's watching this at a later stage, because I think Sarah might be, Joss has fractured her tibia and is unable to weight bear for the moment. And then just when you're ready, put your foot down, and then with caution, just massage around the knee. Just focusing on anywhere. It doesn't have to be the knee. That's the other point, Joss. You tend to think, oh, it's right here at the tibia bit, but their little dents are here, further down on either side, and they can be very useful as well, because it's the energy meridian runs through. So you don't have to actually go there. There are energy meridians running, as I said, below and above. And then just very gently, within your capability, just to lift the leg and just circle very gently. So you're actually circling the top of the leg in the hip joint one way, according to your ability, and then the other way. I mean, we can hug our knees right in, but we won't have that flexibility. So it's important to keep your hips moving as well. And then just support the leg down. Some cat-cows again. So you're mobilising the whole spine, and that will get stiff because when you're not weight bearing, your body becomes misaligned and you tend to put extra weight on one side. Of course, that's natural, and then the rest of the back goes out. So this is a nice way to just gently stretch the back out. And get it mobile again. And then coming back to centre. And we're going to do seated salute to the sun. But before we do that, we've not worked on the hands. So just circle the hands at the wrists. The hands reflect the feet. So I don't know if Sue has any nuggets of wisdom for the knee on the hands. It will be on the foot as well.
Right, the knee reflex point is about halfway to, so you hold your hand up, arm facing you, and it's on the outside, under the little finger, so you've got your neck area where the joint is.
Do you want to hold up to Joss? Just
Sorry, I'll stand up, Joss. So your neck area is here, can you see? And then you go down the outside of your hand. These are all your joints, the reflex points for all your joints. So about halfway down, you can feel a bone slightly nodule along there. Can you see? And that's your knee reflex point. Below it is your hip and ankle. So you've got start off with your neck, your shoulder, and then your hip, and then your knee, and then your ankle. So just going with, sorry, I'm trying to do it so you can see. So moving your thumb all down the outside of where your finger and the outside of your hand is. That does all the reflex points of all the bits that are stiff for you. So it's probably easier to do them on your hand. Can you see, Joss? Yeah, on the outside, yeah. So you do that on your left hand for your left side. So probably, yeah. So there's just all the points along there. So it's worth, rather than trying just to find specifically your knee, it's easier just to go up and down all along the outside of there. And it's the same on your foot. So you'd have right from your little toe right down to your heel at the back are all the if you can get to your foot, as you probably can't, but so it's easier to do it on your hand. Just rubbing along there.
Thank you.
I find it fascinating because you can do that just sitting down.
Oh, it's just so easy to do. Yes, it's much easier to do. I mean, your hands aren't as receptive as your feet, because as I've said before, because we use our hands all the time, they're touching things, moving things, they're not as sensitive as the feet with the reflex points. The reflex points become dulled because we use them all the time, but your feet are better, but you can still do it. Usually with not saying John, we're old. Usually with older people who don't like their feet being touched or can't have them touched, then you would do reflexology on the hand, and it does work. Yeah. So it's all down the outside from the little finger right down to your wrist, all along that area.
Just a seated salute to the sun. Hands together at the heart centre. Press the palms together. Breathing in. Raise the arms up. Stretch up. Hands together. Come down through the heart centre. Rest the hands on the tops of the legs. And then slide the hands down and just come forward, sliding the hands to where you can reach them. It might be the shins, it might be you can touch your feet, you might be able to touch the floor. So that's your forward bend. Breathing in, tummy in to support you, and perineum slightly engages. And then just slide your hands up to upright. Hold the chair, hold your support. This is optional, Joss. Breathing in, stretch your right foot and extend the right heel. And then lower that. This on your left side, again, you will know what you can do. Stretching the heel, I think, is one of the exercises for knee rehabilitation when you get there, if your physio hasn't already said that. Or sitting on the floor, extending your foot and extending your heel. Same sort of thing. And then sitting up, breathing out, turn to the right. You can have your hands, right hand behind you, left hand to the outside of the thigh. Turn to look over your right shoulder. Just taking it in and out breath. And then come back to the centre. just lightly touch the hands to the knees and then turn to the left, right hand on the outside left side. So this is your rotation. Come back to the centre. Hold the hands on your support or on your hands on your knees. Breathing in, sit up straight, lift at the chest, and gently, if that's appropriate, lift your chin, it's optional. Eyes up, at your back bend, come to the centre, sitting upright, and breathing in, arms up, stretching up, and then just circle the wrists down, boosting circulation into the wrists as well. And then just cat-cow. And moving through the chakras here, in between salute to the sun. And then once more, hands together when you're ready at the heart center. Breathing in, circle the arms up, stretching up. Hands together, come through the heart center. Separate the hands onto the thighs, slide the hands down. Forward bend. When you're ready, slide the hands up. Hold your chair and breathing in, extend one leg, your right leg, extend the heel, only that how that feels for you. Lower the leg, and then extend the other leg. Back of the heel extending is quite good for sciatica as well. And then lower the leg and the hamstrings, and then sitting up. This time just open your arm to the right, just turn to look right. You can keep your elbow bent if you stiff. Come back to the centre, and then open your left hand to the left. Come back to the centre. That's the rotation. Just do hands on the knees and lower on the thighs, a slight nod forward, and then coming back to upright. Hands onto the chair, breathing in, lifting. The chest extending into a back bend, optional to lift the chin and the eyes. And then come to upright. And then release the hands to breathe in, arms up. Clasp the hands in reverse, really stretch up. You can look up if your neck will allow you to. Bring your head to upright and then lower the arms. Lift and roll the shoulders. And now the second chakra, hold your chair and just circle. So we can do it seated. There is an option to stand up and do a hula hoop. But you obviously need to do so.
More of a circle sitting down, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Yeah.
It's holding the chair for support.
Yeah.
So you're moving your abdominal area, and again, as you'll know, when you've been immobile for a bit, your abdominal area doesn't get energy flowing through it, and so your whole system, including your digestive system, slugs up a bit, and just circle the other way. When it slugs up, the seat of the abdominal area in Ayurveda medicine is the seat of Vata, which is the air element, and very connected to the abdominal area pain. It affects one's metabolism, like constipation. Just not a lovely subject. But yeah, if you're immobile, you tend to become more less free flowing. So this helps with that. That's what I meant to say. And then just come to stillness. And another salute to the sun, hands together at the heart centre. Breathing in, hands up. Palms together as you come through the centre, slide the hands down to where it works for you. This time, wherever you are, breathing in, lengthen the spine, and breathing out, just curl in. And then hands on the legs to support you to come up. Hands on the chair, so extend your right leg. You can keep the leg low, extend the heel to within your capability, and lower. And then the left leg. Extend the heel and lower. And then sitting up, we come to a rotation. So there are many variations, and you just once more turn to the right, as little or as much as you would like. Come back to the centre, just nod forward, stretching out the back, coming to upright, and then just turn to the left. Come back to the centre, hands up, and then just circle the hands, wrists down. And then we come to the next chakra, which is the solar plexus and manipura chakra. And again, this links to the eyes. So any digestive issues, which has to happen if you're immobile, will have an effect on the eyes because the chakras are linked. So we'll do a rotation. This is different again. Hold the thumbs together and almost just turn to one side and then turn to the other side. Come back to the centre, drop the hands, so you're holding the elbows. And we did this the other day, I think, just circle, sway from side to side. We're just dipping here into a somatic movement where the brain is kind of taken out of the thought process here. So it's quite a useful stretch you can do anywhere, at your desk, anytime. And then just release the hands back down again. Lift and roll the shoulders. And then just open the arms and hug chin to chest. And just rock from side to side. You're opening the top of the back into the thoracic area. You're opening into the shoulders. The vagus nerve is activated with the chin being to the chest, and it's an act of love and self-compassion. Remember which arm's on the top as you come to sit up, and then hug yourself again. The other side. And then we're going to still stay at the heart, and breathing in, hands out. Breathing out, hands back. Hands out and hands back. So even though this is a very small movement, you're working at the heart level. This is brilliant for anybody who's suffered from heart attacks and they're rehabilitating. And if you were going to look at a heart patient a little bit more, or someone who's prone to worried about their heart, you would then add in, as you bring the hands back to the heart, just open out a little bit. Breathing in, hands forward, back, out, and back. Then think about finishing this movement. Drop the hands to the lap. And we come to the throat. So you can just use the backs of your hands to stroke up. And we've done this as well, very effective movement for the throat. Just breathing in, turn the head to the left, stay here for a breath. And back to the centre and gently turn the head to the right. Come back to the centre, your own breath pattern, into the left, and when you're ready, to the right. So it's good for the neck, good for the throat, good for the thyroid and parathyroid. And then come back to the centre. And then we move up to the third eye. Lots of things you can do for the third eye. Just taking your fingertips, just gently drag the tips of your fingers across your forehead. Just going always in the same direction. If you want to have more of an effect on behind the third eye, you've got the pineal and the pituitary glands that link into the master metabolic process, even controlling the thyroid and the parathyroid. And for that, depending on your neck capacity to activate that, it's a very simple controlled lifting of the chest, eyes up, and breathing out, chin to chest. That presumes that your neck is all right, it's not freaking you, and controlled because your head's heavy, so you don't want to just throw it up and down. But this is very much acting on the pineal and the pituitary gland. And if you wanted to balance these, you'd be doing this about 50 times. Then just very gently come to stillness. And then this comes into somatic yoga, which also crosses over with Reiki. So just bring your hands to either side of your head, thumbs behind, and just hold your head. Doing this is said to deactivate the brain chatter, because it's a feeling aspect, and so it's a mindfulness movement, calming the mind and the nervous system a little bit further. We're just visiting it at the moment, nothing too long, but when you're ready, take, it doesn't matter which hand, one hand to the back of the head, one hand to the forehead. Your head will naturally come down, and just gently press your hands together towards each other. And then release the head up, keep the hand at the forehead, and the hand that was at the back of the head just bring to the heart. So it's uplifting. And then take the hand at the forehead and place it at your navel. Stops you slouching forward. And then just bring both hands to the heart. Take a bow for yourself and have a wish for the day, setting your